Hello and welcome to ScamWATCH, your current source of news, tips and information highlighting the scams and frauds impacting seniors, families, businesses and consumers on Vancouver Island. I'm Rosalind Scott, President and CEO of the Vancouver Island Better Business Bureau.
And I'm Constable Catherine Colthart of the RCMP Federal Financial Integrity Section in Victoria. This week we'll be talking about postal mail scams, the most common types of these scams, how to identify them, and what to do to protect yourself.
The postal system was the original source of many of the social media, online, email, and other cybercrimes that we see today. The internet is a cost-effective, quick way to target very large groups of people quickly. As a result, scams that come in the mail are less and less common. However, having said that, there are many postal scams still out there that come in the forms of letters or documents. And the threat that they pose is large, especially considering that a letter or a document coming by mail may seem a little more legitimate than an email.
So what specifically is a postal mail scam? The definition is really as simple as it sounds. Any scam or fraud that is received or delivered to potential victims using the more traditional, slower communication system of postal mail. The purpose of postal scams are either to steal your identity and personal information or to steal your money.
There are a number of ways that scam artists try to do this. On this episode of ScamWATCH, we're going to look at the 4 most common ways these scams are delivered by mail. They include fake check and money orders, international or cross-border frauds, lottery or prize-winning scams, and work-from-home scams.
Let's look at fake check and money order scams. These scams are also known as a Nigerian letter or advance fee scam. They include a letter from a scam artist that either make an emotional appeal for you to help someone who is in a financial bind, promise an investment opportunity, or access to an inheritance. With the letter is often a fake check or money order that the victim is asked to deposit in their bank. The victim is told to wire a portion of this money to a third party. When the bank finds the check is fake, the victim is responsible since they cashed it. Most victims find they lose the money they wired and the con artist disappears. Usually the initial letters contain the fake check or money order, and sometimes there is correspondence between the victim and the fraudster before the check or money order is sent.
Another common type of postal scam includes an element of international or cross-border fraud. These scams include such things as phony travel deals, investment opportunities in another country, or bogus products and services that perhaps can be purchased cheaper abroad, such as eyeglasses. Victims typically receive a letter in the mail that looks very official and legitimate. They may be asked to fill out a form with personal information and mail it back, or email or phone somebody to discuss the opportunity further, or perhaps simply to purchase the product or service with a credit card. The end game here is the same. The scammers want your personal and credit card information so that they can steal your identity, put fraudulent charges on your credit card, or charge you fees and services while selling your information to a third party with deceptive marketing practices.
Another type of fraud that often includes a cross-border element is lottery or prize-winning scams. In these scams, victims are mailed a letter notifying them that they have won a lottery, foreign lottery, or contest of some sort. To claim the winnings, personal and financial information, including SIN numbers, bank account, or credit card information must be provided. Often, in order to claim the prize or winnings, you must pay some sort of fee first. If the lottery or contest takes place in another country, these fees might be described as taxes, transfer, or processing fees. Sometimes the letter announcing the win even comes with a fake check or money order. The objective is either to steal your private information or to get you to mail or wire the scammer money, and you receive nothing in return.
And while most work-at-home scams solicit their victims through online or classified ads, there are a number of occasions when they still arrive in the mail. Work-at-home scam offers typically suggest that somebody can work at home, learning a relatively simple-to-do task, and by doing so, make a lot of money. These tasks include such things as stuffing envelopes, assembling products, doing data entry, medical billing, or perhaps participating in a multi-level marketing opportunity or a pyramid scheme. A fee is charged up front for either more information, supplies, or training. In most cases, the fee disappears with the scammer and the money is simply lost. But a story comes to mind of a scam I heard of a number of years ago that is still sometimes around and still sometimes comes in the mail. The victim is asked to assemble earrings. They pay a fee up front to get all of the supplies and the instructions. In this case, the victim paid the fee, received the supplies, read the instructions carefully, and spent many hours assembling the earrings. They sent them in and expected their first paycheck. Instead, they got a letter saying, "We're so sorry, your work is inferior, so we cannot sell the earrings. However, if you'd like to pay another fee and try again, perhaps this time you'll be successful." And believe it or not, they paid a second fee, made a second batch of earrings, sent them in, and of course got another letter saying their work was inferior. The scammer not only kept the fee for the supplies, but they also had 2 batches of very sellable earrings.
So what can you do to protect yourself from becoming a victim of postal mail scams? The first thing to be aware of is that all of these scams prey on people's desire to make a quick buck. Probably the main way to protect yourself is to realize that real money does not come too easy. Legitimate wealth usually has to be worked for. The second thing you can do is learn to spot the common elements of not only postal mail scams, but money, email, and internet scams as well.
Yes, many of the scams that come to our attention at the Better Business Bureau have similar identifying factors. For example, many scams, such as the Nigerian letter scam, prize winnings, and other too good to be true opportunities, have very obvious spelling and grammatical mistakes in them. The person, company, or organization that has sent you the letter has no legitimate way in which they should have acquired your personal contact information. For example, you haven't purchased a ticket or entered a draw. They all require a level of personal and private financial information that should not be given out at any time to anyone. Most of these scams also require you to wire money to a third party to participate.
Many of these scams also require you to make decisions quickly or act now before the opportunity passes. The scammer is relying on you to make an uninformed, impulsive decision to get involved or accept the offer. They often come with explanations that are either complicated and lengthy or very vague and confusing. If you look closely at many of the scams received via postal mail, contradictory contact information is provided. For example, you might receive a foreign lottery winning letter from Spain with an untraceable phone number, a fax number in Asia, and a check supplied from a bank in France. In cases where there was multiple levels of correspondence between the victim and scammer, we've even seen each letter sent by the lottery company mailed from different addresses.
While postal scams are definitely easier to trace back than email scams, stopping them altogether is an incredibly challenging task. As we've said, contact and mailing address information usually simply doesn't exist. Or it might be a post office box that's been purchased by a fake or stolen credit card. Law enforcement agencies simply do not have the time and resources to track down most of these scams.
If you do find yourself a victim of some sort of postal mail fraud, it is important to report it to your local police department so they can investigate it. Your local police are also connected to all the other provincial and national enforcement agencies that may currently be investigating, tracking, and trying to stop the same scam you have become a victim of.
And remember, the best way to protect yourself from this or any other scam or fraud is to stay informed, use your common sense, and if it sounds too good to be true, it usually is.
For more information on scams and frauds and crimes impacting your region, be sure to visit the BBB serving Vancouver Island and your local police websites.
If you have a personal story or scam or fraud you'd like us to share on ScamWATCH, please send the information to info@vi.bbb.org.